This year's 90-day legislative session is set to begin on January 13th, with over 1,200 bills already being drafted for introduction. Tom, what do you expect that we'll see out of this session for Washington County?
Probably nothing. You know, if I look at the track record, I've been following this in recent years since I've been in Washington County, and I forget what is the last time I looked. Our legislature's got our people in Annapolis got about 2 out of 29 bills actually passed that they voted for.
Many did not come out of.
You know, and there's been very little done, you know, in terms of pushing things. Then you look and see, I mean, some of the road money went to other counties. You know, this is supposed to be getting stuff out
highway
here.
revenue funds,
The
right?
highway revenue funds, some of the education fund stuff went to other counties. And given the track record, I mean, Neil Parrott, you know, doesn't have, you know, some kind of state ballot initiative doing. So I would think maybe he could do something now, but I doubt that he will.
I think you and I agree on this, especially with, as it relates, you got to
Can
look.
I write that down?
What?
That you guys agree?
Tom and I probably agree on a lot more than you.
Well, something, we find something.
Okay.
We find agreement.
I stand corrected.
And I think you have to look at the people who's behind pushing some of our bills and the level of effectiveness that they have been historically. And you look at a guy like Brett Wilson, who I think is an effective legislator. He's
How do we know that? He's not spent a day
Well,
in
no, and
office
I-
yet.
He has spent a day.
No,
He had his whole last session in office.
Brett Wilson.
Oh, okay, never
You're
mind.
talking about Bill
Excuse
Weill,
me.
basically.
Never mind.
Oh,
Never
well, but Neil Parrott,
Sorry.
you know, I think that he means well. I think Mr. Parrott does his due diligence for his constituency, but as far as going to Annapolis and working across the aisle and being an effective legislator, this is not a diss against him. I just haven't seen progress. I mean, and you can make the case that he's pushed his ballot initiatives, but they've all failed.
Well, yeah, they've all failed, and he's got no bills passed either. So.
Well, I'll be looking forward to seeing how Bill Weill does. What do you think about that, Jim?
So yeah, I'll definitely be following Bill Weill to see where he goes, and I frankly, I hope he surprises me.
I do too.
I don't have a lot of hope for him. You know, I respect Neil in as much as the fact that I think he follows his conscience on what
He does.
what he introduces, and
Yeah.
I respect that. I think you got to play nice in the sandbox, and I'm not sure that I would say that he.
But you can keep your convictions. I mean,
You
can.
You can.
You can.
But he seems to be a little more than an ideologue to me.
When there's
I mean, there's a thing about being a politician and getting things done.
Yeah,
That's
because
why you
right now,
elect
but you
people.
know what? We're not getting
Yeah.
anything done at the national level.
No,
this
it's
is,
working both ways, but it's true here. But the whole thing was when they ran last time with Hogan and everything. Well, now we got a Republican governor. We're going to get something. Well, I'll tell you,
You
didn't
still
work
got a-
so far,
a very democratic
and I don't think it's going to work
legislature.
again this
Yeah.
year
Well,
either.
I think last session, I think the governor is making an appeal across the aisle. He's our third most popular governor in the country. He has to work with Mike Miller and Mike Bush. And look, these guys are seasoned politicians. If anybody can get the job done, I think Governor Hogan he has often rejected hard ideological stances. There's some bills that he did not pass last time, like some of the criminal justice reform that did not go through that I'd like to see go through. But as far as the budget, some Republicans like Neil, remember he didn't vote for the first budget last time. He wanted to push further, but when you have the makeup as you do, the political makeup, you have to be willing to compromise. And I think that's what it's all about.
You think there's going to be a lot of bills that Hogan vetoed last session be overridden this session?
It could be.
Probably every
Some of
one
those
them.
may be those
Not every-
Department
I
of
think-
Justice bills you're talking about.
Which
think,
one?
I think there likely will be some that are vetoed. There's a lot that could be vetoed, and I'll tell you, Mike Miller has already suggested that that they're on the chopping block.
Yeah. And you know what? And
That's sad.
in as much as I like the fact that Hogan is a conservative Republican and has made great steps, I think, in controlling the budget and things like that. And then I can say, the news out of Baltimore that he has a $700 million plan for Baltimore.
The rail.
Over 10. No. This is his core plan, CORE.
Okay.
And it's about
right.
tearing down thousands of vacant buildings and replacing them with new development.
Yeah.
In one of the areas that was done back when Governor, oh my goodness.
O'Malley?
No, way before him.
Ehrlich?
Before him.
Before him.
Schaefer?
Schaefer?
Donald
back
Oh,
when
Willie
Schaefer-
Donald? Willie Donald.
Back when Willie
The
Donald,
The
did,
local Donald.
you know, did all
The
that
good one.
dollar a house and things like
Right.
that.
Yeah.
Same area that they're talking about now, going in and tearing down these homes because they're boarded up now and it's crime infested and a drug haven and all those things. But $700 million. Now we're looking at a $500 million surplus right now as it stands in the state budget, and $160 million is the first year of this 10-year plan.
Yeah.
So now you're eating up. Now you're down to 340. And we're already talking about $1 billion deficit that we're looking at in the out years.
Draw this back to Washington County and what happens during session when most of the time is we have some local bills I think we're going to push forward. And last year, some on the education side, our local bills, they failed. We tried to push for the alternative finance bill, and you know that got shot down. And Senator Serafini thought about some unique ways to fund some really promising projects in downtown Hagerstown. And then you have the Terry Baker, Woody Spong wing that say we spend too much money, and nothing gets accomplished. Then you have people on the school board that are actively rooting against the majority in some of these really great projects that they're trying to put into fruition, like the academic hub. And
I've learned one thing about majorities, okay, and I have a history with that. That 20% of the people who make the most noise, people consider the majority.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So it's not always the majority of people.
Yeah.
It's usually the silent minority, and unfortunately, or the silent
It's the
majority.
vocal minority.
Yeah, it's a vocal minority and the silent
That's
majority.
how it works.
Well, but
That's how Trump gets it.
Unfortunately, that's how it works. I mean,
how it works.
And, you know, we've seen it kill projects in the
Yeah.
past of
Yeah.
you know, different projects.
So what's going to happen for Washington County during the 2016 legislative
Not
session?
much.
You
I don't know. You know, I went on the state website today,
Yeah.
and I tried to look at some of the bills that were already submitted. Of course, they have none.
No, that's it. Yeah. Well,
so,
yeah, that's what I
yeah.
mean. How do you?
But
get
there-
I mean,
started?
you have no idea.
Well,
what
that
these
doesn't mean
bills-
there's no.
Well, there's like 173 that are already queued up, right?
Well,
For
they've
Washington
been,
County?
they've been,
No, just generally.
statewide.
Oh, okay.
but they're talking about. You know, I mean, you can't go in and go through each bill and find out what all.
There's a speed camera bill.
Is there?
Yeah, for some revenue to
But
handle.
remember this.
To enhance it?
Remember this.
Taxes.
Remember this, guys. Washington County is a taker in terms of counties. We pay in
Yeah.
in taxes less
Less
than we get back in services.
And that's the last word, Jim, and you have it.
Okay.
All
Next
right.
up on the flip side, President Obama has said before he has a pen and a phone. How will his next executive order affect your ability to bear arms? And we all found out about that yesterday.
Yes, we did.
We'll have a discussion about that. We'll be back in 3 minutes. Thanks.